Welcome back, rankers. Today I wanted to have a look at duplicate content because there's a lot of people out there who always ask us about duplicate content, and a lot of people talk about a duplicate content penalty. You've got to look at it from Google's perspective. If Google finds more than one piece of content that's exactly the same as another, it doesn't want to put all of those pieces of content in the same search result, does it? I mean, if you went to Google and you typed in whatever the search phrase was, and you got 10 results that basically delivered you the same piece of content over and over again at different websites, you're going to stop using Google pretty quickly, I would have thought. So all Google's trying to do is keep the search results unique and give you a variety of content. So if you've got, and I've seen people do this over the years, especially a lot of people who are just setting up website after website to generate affiliate income from, for instance, they will have the same pieces of content over and over again and just at different URLs. Well, that's not going to rank. That's fine if you don't want to rank, if you're using other methods to get people there, whether it be social media or whatever. But it won't rank in the search results because Google doesn't want to show the same piece of content over and over again. And today in Matt Cutts, the Google senior engineer, he's actually basically explained a little bit of what that's about. So I'm going to play you that first, and then I'm going to show you a little bit about some of the other myths surrounding duplicate content and how you can, when you're building a page or a site, have a think about, is this duplicate content? Is this going to get ranked? And some techniques to basically show you that how to make sure that your content hasn't been used before. If you think you've got it from a third party and you want to make sure that it isn't already on the web. So let's just have a listen to Matt Cutts, what he's got to say about duplicate content.
Mani from Delhi asks, are product description pages on an e-commerce site termed as duplicate content if the same product description appears on other sites? It does happen for many branded products. Mani, you're absolutely right. It does happen. And most of the time when it happens, it's because that's not original content. So if you get an affiliate feed, and it might have images, it might not have images, and you have the same content on your page, your e-commerce product page, as 400 other sites, there's really, it's hard to distinguish yourself. You have to ask, where is my value add? What does my affiliate site or my, site that doesn't have original content add compared to these other hundreds of sites? So whenever possible, I urge you to try to have original content, try to have a really unique value add. Don't just take an affiliate feed, create a site that's fly-by-night, and now there's no reason why anybody wants to stumble on your site. So typically it's best if you can find some way to have some kind of unique angle and not just the exact same stuff that everybody else has on their web page as well.
Well, thank you, Matt. So it's pretty clear there what duplicate content is. A lot of people get, in the olden days, 5 years ago, we used to look at duplicate content as, for instance, if we go to Stuart Media, as more than just, say, what you might think duplicate content is. For instance, a lot of Joomla sites out there will allow you, when you have an article, to have a print version of that, and also maybe a PDF version of that if you wanted to email it to someone, and also an email version of that if you wanted to email. Now these are all links. We switched all ours off. Usually in a lot of the default install for Joomla is that you will see maybe a little email icon, a PDF icon, and a print icon. Well, all of those things are links to the same piece of content. We turned ours off years ago when we were first looking at duplicate content. But Google has said that they're pretty good at picking up duplicate content within your own site. Okay, they understand that you may have the same piece of content 3 times on your site. As best practice, though, what we would do is block the bots from those icons, the print, the email, and the PDF versions, so that the bot can't actually go and see those pieces of content. If you don't know how to do that, really just speak to your webmaster or your hosting company and just either add the tag rel no follow in your link, or what I prefer to do is block the bots in the robots.txt so I can be sure they're not even going anywhere near it, because it's content that's already on the page. So Google has already told us now that that's probably not so much of an issue, but my attitude is why take the risk? Google's also said at recent search marketing expos in Sydney and also in Toronto, and Yahoo has said this as well, that they're okay pretty much across duplicate content across top-level domains. So that basically means that if you have a .com and a .com.au, if you had pointed both of those URLs at the one site, that was a bad idea. So what Google's telling us now is that maybe you can get away with it, because we understand that people say, looking at the .com, aren't necessarily going to be looking at the content that's in the .au. So you might want to have a little bit of country-specific content at those top-level domains. What we're trialling with a couple of clients at the moment is taking those top-level domains that they currently own, let's say a .sg, that's Singapore, for those of you who don't know. We'll take a .sg site, and basically it's pointing at the same files as, say, the .au site, but what we'll do is it will set up a separate Google Webmaster Tools for it, a separate sitemap for it, and we will let Google know that it is separate content within the Google Webmaster Tools and which country we want it found in. Because one of the problems that most businesses find who have an export market is that they may only have one domain name, but they can't be found in all the other Google search engines in pages from that local country. So one of the ways around that we're looking at is, without building a whole other site, is taking purely the Singapore domain name and pointing at the same website, but making sure that Google understands that it's for a different audience. It's for a Singapore audience. So I hope to bring you more about that in the coming weeks and let you know how we've gone with that. But it is we're looking at it very much as a cost-effective way to get found in the Google results in other countries. Now, this, of course, doesn't apply if you have more than one domain name within a top-level domain. What do I mean by that? If you have, say, for instance, more than one .au, this technique that I'm talking about that we're trialling at the moment is purely if you've got a .au and a .uk or a .au and a .sg or whatever it might be. So you've still got to not publish, say, multiple URLs at the same website within the same top-level domain. So don't have a bunch of AU domain names all pointing at the same website. If you do own extra domain names within the same top-level domain space, their only real value to you is if you think people are actually trying to type that URL in to get to your site. There's no SEO benefit. I get asked this question all the time. People go out and register keyword-rich domain names. But that only works if that is the main domain name. You can only have one keyword-rich domain name that's going to affect a site, if that makes sense. So, you might go out and you might be trying to rank for blue widgets, so you decide to set up a site called bluewidgets.com.au. That's great for the blue widgets, but you can't then go and register, well, you can, but it's a waste of money. You can go and register bluewidgetsmelbourne.com.au, but if you put in at the same site, you're just going to lose value across both domain names. Now, a quick check to find out whether your content is unique is one of the things that I do. Is we take about the first 25 words of an article that should be unique, and then we simply go to Google and we drop that phrase in. We put it in quotation marks, because when you put something in quotation marks in a Google search, you're actually saying to Google, show me this phrase exactly. Now, a single quotation mark at the beginning of a search query will actually only return the results where all those words are on the page. But if you can close it in quotation marks, it will only deliver those pages where that content appears in that order. So it's like an exact match if you're into AdWords. So right here we can see this is a page off our site. We're the only result. Thank God for that. So that's it for today's show. If you've got any questions, send them through via Twitter, Jimboot, and or at Stuart Media as well, and we'll get to them. Thanks very much. We'll see you next week. Bye.